favor of torture. The issue is the use of enhanced interrogation. Is it ever justified?
I say no. And so does John McCain, by the way.
Okay, then you got a ticking bomb. The guy over there planted it. Lives are at stake. Are his rights more important than innocent victims? Of course not.
Of course, that is award-winning actor Tom Selleck in the hit CBS drama Blue Bloods. Selleck's more than 6 decades in Hollywood include high-profile roles in Magnum PI, movies like 3 Men and a Baby, and guest starring in Friends memorably. In his new memoir, You Never Know, Selleck writes about these experiences and more. And we're so happy Tom Selleck joins us now.
Yeah,
good to see you, my friend.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
So let's talk about how you got into this acting business. You said that you never had the slightest interest in acting, and in fact, your career started because you were trying to get an easy A in college.
Yes.
Yeah. I never did a play or thought about acting. I wanted to be a professional baseball player if I had a fantasy. My brother signed with the Dodgers. Tommy Lasorda signed him. And that was my fantasy. And I did. My academic record. Well, you can't look at my transcript.
You said it was less than stellar.
Less than stellar.
Yeah, you said it was less than stellar.
I wasn't doing good in the business school, and I wanted to transfer to USC. I had to go to Valley College first, junior college, because my parents couldn't afford to send me for 4 years. So I heard I had to improve my grades because they wouldn't let me in.
Right.
And there was an easy A in this history of the American theater class, and I wouldn't say the rest is history. It was kind of a long road, but he sent me to an agent, the theater arts teacher, and I said, I guess you could make money doing commercials, but
he saw something. But
we weren't doing acting in the history of theater, the history of the American theater class.
Yeah.
But Tom, you told a story in the book. You show up at one place and you go, the guy is gorgeous. He looks better than Elizabeth Taylor. I mean, you walk in the room and people are like,
that's
wow.
my friend Larry Manetti.
Who is this guy? But even the role of Magnum, because when it was first presented to you, you didn't even want the role that really turned out to make you a big star. What was it about that?
Well, I didn't like the script.
Yes.
And I didn't like Universal assigning me something on a contract that was expired. They said, you will do this, and I looked at the script and I said, no, I won't. And it was about a year drama, but I knew I was risking probably just about everything, because the studio was basically saying, who the hell do you think you are?
Yes.
You've never been on the air, you've done 6 unsold pilots, and you're saying no? And I said, yes, I am.
Yeah, but you ended up getting the writer that you wanted. Though.
Yeah, and so many characters of that era, especially male lead characters, they were perfect. And you wanted the writers to make sure he had flaws.
Well,
Why?
I just come off of 2 Rockfords, and I loved Garner. The Rockford Files was, it really taught me or reinforced the idea of what ballpark I should be in, and this was not. This was more James Bond. You could say stewardess in those days. He had a stewardess on each arm, and I just said no. I don't know. It was a big risk. It was probably a risk where I was risking everything, because they would have made sure I never worked again.
Well, speaking of work, let's talk about one of the greatest moments of Hollywood trivia. You know what I'm going to ask you about?
Which
you
one?
were offered the role of Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark, but you had to turn it down because of scheduling issues with Magnum. You don't strike me as a man of regret, but was in that moment and looking back on that franchise.
Because we all can see it, Vlad.
I can totally see you with the whip, with the hat, with the leather jacket, right?
Well, I put them on. I had to do a screen test.
I wish we had a photo.
I was offered the role.
With Steven
which
Spielberg
was
and
wonderful.
George Lucas.
I'd already done the pilot for Magnum, and the more Steven and George held the offer out, the more CBS said, we want the series, and you can't do both. I was able to keep somewhat of a, look, Magnum was hardly a consolation prize, but it was a big disappointment.
Yeah. But Tom, look at your life, because you've had not one but two hit juggernauts. You've had Magnum PI.
Yep.
No, and I mean that in all seriousness. We're not ready for Blue Bloods.
The ratings say so.
Not ready for
And the
Blue Bloods
ratings
to
say
end.
so.
Well, neither am I.
Yeah.
Thank you.
None of us are.
How do you process that you've had not one but two hits, juggernauts?
Yeah.
And that it may be coming to a close.
I said to myself when Blue Blood started, I can't be this lucky twice. I mean, Magnum was, but I was and am. And the way this has all worked out, this craziness, because the actors strike, we're doing a 10-show season like every other.
Yes.
That's our 14th season. Then we do a 15th season, which for some reason they're not calling it that, but it is. So it's a 15-year show. When they choose to end it, I think it's debatable.
Okay, all right.
And
We'll
it's a
take
better
that.
way to look at things. If I start now in, May?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking about what's going to happen next November.
Right.
Okay.
We're not winding down. The show is as good as ever.
It is.
We're
Well,
the
people are not.
3 highest scripted show in all
People
of
are not
broadcast.
ready, Mr. Selleck.
Millions agree with you.
You may
Millions
call
agree.
it luck. Others would call it talent.
Yeah,
Bravo.
that's what I was going to say,
Talent.
Gayle.
And
Yeah, no
persistence.
doubt.
And
Hey,
persistence.
Tom, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming by and hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me. Great to see you all.
No doubt.
Wow.
You never know is on sale
Look at that
tomorrow.
handsome mug.